From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is Real Talk, No Strings Attached. The podcast brought to you by the youth of Indianapolis, using this platform and their voice to touch on vital topics they believe impact their communities. Here's the Real Talk team for some real talk, no strings attached.
Are you ready? Because here we go.
What's up? You know what it is. Real Talk. I'm JT.
I'm Eastside Kai.
I'm Nadia.
Not the little one.
Yes,
Big
sir.
one, never the little one.
No, not at all. We have, well, first off, how y'all doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling mentally good, physically good. Our main woman, Ashley, just ordered us some good chicken tenders and fries. So I'm feeling, my energy's high. I'm feeling good.
We ain't good.
And we about to eat this podcast. We ate some chicken.
Let's do it. Hey.
Stay hungry.
Yeah. What's up?
And today we're here with Councilor Graves.
Hey, everybody. What's going on? Keith Graves.
Yes, sir.
The City Council, East Side of Indy.
Yes.
Took the dub.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
How did it
So
feel?
happy. So I got to say, oh, man, I'm so relieved right now. You couldn't have told me that the results would have been what they were. Like, even throughout that day on Tuesday, November 7th, election day. But soon as I was able to confirm, I just threw everything in my hands. I threw them up in the air. So I was very happy. It's a lot of hard work. We've done a lot of work over the last 4 years. And I'm just glad that those people who are in my community that vote, I'm glad that they realize that it was part of, I'm partly responsible for what we've seen as far as transformation on the East Side.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Congratulations once again.
Big dub.
Yes, sir.
Big dub.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Hard work pays.
That's all it takes.
Yes, sir. Hard work definitely pay off. Well, my question for you, what made you even get into politics?
Man, that's such a great question. You know, it's something that I look as the next step in what I really started a long time ago. So I hate to tell how old I am, but like
No, go ahead.
30 years ago. So I'm really, really old. 30 years ago, I actually was very young, so probably not much older than you guys. And I just went to the people in my church, me and my best friend. We were like, hey, can we do a mentorship program, use the church facilities? You know, we had a hoop court. We brought some of the guys in the community I grew up in, Brightwood. We brought them in, and we just wanted to have like mentor sessions. So that was really where I started. I went to a great church. My pastor, he was one of the city's architects of what we see as far as Black excellence. His name is Reverend Dr. Andrew J. Brown. So they have a street named after him. So he was that much of an impact on our city. So he allowed us to use church van. We went through my old community, Brightwood. We picked up some of the guys, and some of the guys are really doing well today. I mean, just doing some of the things that I'm doing. Got to give Fletcher Triplett a shout. His family, those guys they were my mentees a long time ago. But that kind of birthed the fire in me to want to see people, do better, realize their full potential. Somebody invested in me, so I did the same thing. And over the years, I've done many different things, like created a flag football league that was mentorship really based. And then I moved to the East Side, where I hadn't lived where I live now. And I was like, wow, I remember this community. It was a little different back in the day. And I just said, we can do better.
Right.
Talk to the people, came up with a platform and ran. And just 4 short years ago, I was elected for the first time. And, I think I delivered what they wanted. They wanted to see the community look better. They wanted safety. They wanted me to be available and accessible. And I think I've answered their call. So much to be proud of on the East Side of Indy.
Yes. Can you talk about your upbringing in Brightwood for a little bit?
So I don't really do a lot of that, talking about it, because I like people to just kind of paint me beige, right? But I do believe that there's an opportunity to reach people if I really start telling my truth, because I'm a stockbroker, and I think I've always thought, I've been in that role for 25 years. I've always thought, if people don't know all that, they'll be like, all right, yeah, we trust you with your money, with our money. But now I think in this world of public service, I think people should know. I think people should know that I moved a lot when I was a kid. I moved like 13 times by the time I was 13 years old. I mean, Instability was the name of the game. Always a new kid on the block. Always, have to reinvent myself. Always knowing, I learned how to read a room though. You go into school, you're like,
Right.
Don't mess with them. They not that crew. They all right, but don't get too attached to them. So you know how to read a room, and I use that skill today. So my life, it was challenging, but it really wasn't all bad. I mean, there was times we were really doing tough times. I remember Chuck's Market, which is in my district now. So I'm so pleased and proud to serve the district I actually grew up in. But one time, there was no food in the house and things were getting kind of tight. So Mom wrote a letter and said, take this to the store around the corner, Chuck's Market, across the train track on Massachusetts. And I was like, yeah. She's like, I don't know what we're going to do if he says no. But in my mind, I knew what I was going to do. I was going to come home with something, because at that point I'm like 12 or 13. I couldn't let him down. So, but God blessed me that day, and he did what we needed, But at the same time, it's those experiences that I think I take into my role today. Those experiences of not wanting to see anyone struggle like that, having quick access to food, whether it's something that you find in a desperate situation like we were, or just need another few days before the paycheck comes, Right. But yeah, I really champion for people like that. I mean, it gets deeper if I go into the whole thing. I don't think we got enough time for that. But yeah, Mom, she was a young mother, so she got like wise and was like, I'm moving to my uncle's up in Illinois, and we didn't quite make it to his house. We actually lived in like a homeless shelter, which was a crazy experience. But again, everything that I experienced, myself, my brother, my sister, and my mom, it made us strong, to go from where we were living in that shelter, Pacific Garden Mission in Chicago, Illinois. And it wasn't just like a weekend. It was like, that's where the school had my address, right? So now, my sister, she has Airbnbs, and we all like it must have made us really want to really strive,
Right.
But we all have a heart to give back, and I think that's really my motivation. It's definitely not money, or like this is what I went to school to do. I'm a stockbroker, and I don't make a lot of money being on the council, just a little bit, but I definitely do it from my heart, because there's a Keith Graves out there, there's a person out there that just need one person to talk to them, tell them the right way, and bam, their life goes crazy, man. So my life did go crazy. I was at a crazy high school, Northwest High School. Sorry for the space pioneers in the room, but I transferred to Broad Ripple, and bam, it just went wild, man. After that, I ended up going to IU. They were like, you can go to IU. I'm like, what? I can go to IU? My freshman year was like, I literally wasn't a model school student. I was like a D student, but I knew it wasn't supposed to be that way, because I had cousins that were doing pretty well, and I would go to their house and I'd be like, wow, I want to live like this. I just want to be like this. And then I had to go back to my neighborhood, and I was like, yo, I got to get out of this. So I was so serious. I transferred schools, even though Northwest was fun. But I wanted to have a serious life. And when I went to IU, I was not a great student in high school. I struggled, but I studied hard because I wanted to be, I wanted something. I really hope that if nothing else people get, I want them to want something. And if they want something, they'll do what it takes. And then I also was scared of being incarcerated. So you ain't never had to worry about me wanting it bad enough to commit a crime. In fact, I don't know who this speaks to, but I've never smoked marijuana in my life or never done any drugs or pills. So I think that's kind of a great thing too. But so anybody who does that, I think it kind of takes away from their motive, their upward momentum. But yeah, so I transferred to Broad Ripple, ended up going to Indiana University, and graduated. I was planning on going to law school, ended up becoming a stockbroker, fell in love with the industry, and here I am 25 years later. I own my own firm managing money for institutions.
Hey. Come on, firm. Come on.
We're still new. Firm. We're still young. We're still, struggling. But I think we just closed our we're in almost $100 million that we manage for clients, which in the world of being a broker, okay, that is good. I'm not going to deny it. But in the world of big firms, it pales. It's very small. They're in the billions. So, but I'm happy to be at $100 million. And it's really just a year. So we took our first deposit in 23 and we are not out of 23 and we're already at $100 million.
Hey. Yeah. Just dubs all around.
Look, it started different though.
Right.
It started
from
different.
the bottom.
Now I'm here.
Yeah.
Straight got it out the mud, right?
Straight.
No lie. People be using that on a regular, but nah, that's real. That's real.
What are the plans and aspirations that you have for your district?
Wow, I say all the time, I'm so excited about what we've seen because in just 4 short years, and some of this did start putting the ingredients together before I got on the council, but a lot of it was my touch and my begin, and some of it was just me carrying that football to the end zone. But in 4 short years, we now have food in a food desert, what was known as a food desert, really beautiful, great grocery store. So I'm excited about that. We got healthcare in the healthcare desert with Eskenazi. They're now in our community, a real hospital in our district. Like who has seen that on the east side? I'm from the east side. We don't really see buildings that are big and beautiful sprouting out of the ground like we did, So I'm excited about that. 2 banks coming to what was known as a bank desert. So I just came in and just used my ability to negotiate, with my colleagues on the council, because they got communities, they want stuff in their communities too. The mayor's administration, business leaders, and rallying those neighborhood association leaders, and just everybody who can really help us push for more and better in our district. And so when I'm asked, what do you see in the future? I want to see more. I just want to see more. I want to see more developments. We've got about $300-400 million in development projects, from banks to new housing, to healthcare, to a real good job provider in Cook Medical. They're a great company that they came to our district. Now they have a device manufacturing facility. So we do have a lot, but I just want more. I want Davington to do the same thing. I want parts of our community that still have a far way to get to grocery stores. I want them to have grocery stores. So to answer your question, I want to duplicate the success I saw in 4 years. I want to take this last election where my neighbors and my voters said, we want you to do it again. I just want to do what they asked me and do it again.
Have you ever covered a carpet stain with a rug, ignored a leaky faucet, pretended your half-painted living room is supposed to look like that? Well, you're not alone. We've all got unfinished home projects. But there's an easier way. Thumbtack is the app that makes it easier to care for your home. Pull out your phone and in just a few taps, search, chat, and book highly rated pros right in your neighborhood. Download Thumbtack and start caring for your home the easier way.
All right, man, we back with Councilor Graves. Councilor Graves, I want to speak to the youth, as in those that want to get into politics, the ones that want to get more outreach. What advice would you have for them?
Man, that's such a great question. And I definitely appreciate you asking that question, because a lot of times when you're younger, you might feel like, I can't wait until I get older to do A, B, or C. But as I just shared with you and your listeners, I think I was like 20, 21. So we went to our church and we were like, can we do a mentorship program? So we kind of had it in our minds what we wanted to do, but it doesn't have to be that aggressive. You can actually just go to an existing organization like Voices and just really get involved. And there are communities all across Indianapolis that have organizations that want youth, that need youth to come in, breathe life into their groups and their organizations, whether it's a community-based organization, a church-based organization, school-based organizations. And once you get in, you start seeing how things are, and if you have the right mindset, you'll see how you think things should be. And then you'll want to partner with organizations or adults somewhere, like I did with my church, and say, hey, we think we can help. This is how I can help. But it really just starts by getting involved in something that might already be in existence. You don't have to create from the ground up. Every election, there's opportunities to work polls. There's opportunities to work like calling people to remind them of the election that's coming up. So we need people to help out in those ways as well. So, but you can really be meaningful in what you do to help just by asking, around or creating your own. We see every once in a while news articles on people that are young, that are doing things and trying to see their community better. If you have ideas, if it's in your heart, don't let nobody stop you. Just go for it.
All right.
As a counselor, how do you think that you can speak to the youth and get them involved?
Right. So I think it's really important that you have a constant ongoing relationship with youth. You can't just come like every 4 years or every 2 years when you're getting elected. You can't come every so often, twice or 3 times a year, take a picture and bounce. You got to actually stick around. So you have to make a strong connection and have a relationship with a group. And what I did the last time I was involved with Voices is one of the guys that I was paired with as my mentee was supposed to be for a brief period of time. He's still my mentee to this day. It's been 3 years now. So I have about 5 people that I mentor. And, I think that people in my role and similar roles, they should seek to engage youth, but not just a pop-in type of thing. You have to truly connect with people. And I think it's so much in the phrase I just said, they have to connect, because we're in an all hands on deck environment right now. I think our youth are crying for attention. They're letting things that they otherwise wouldn't let come into their world, like this easy access to guns. I think it's the law that makes guns easily accessible. And what do when it's easy accessible? You get it. So, and then when you make bad decisions, as we know many youth can, then we have unfortunate circumstances as a result. So what we need more adults, more leaders in our community, more people engaged. We need more voices all across the city to engage specifically in youth, to make sure that these young people, men, women, boys, girls, will understand that there is hope, there's something to want, and it doesn't always have to have the involvement of guns and other things that might have negative results.
Definitely.
And you kind of spoke about in the beginning how, your kind of first course of action and wanting to get involved was becoming a mentor yourself as a young leader. Mm-hmm. So can you kind of speak to the importance of mentors or carrying adult figures, or even not just adult figures, because you were only about 20 or something. So even like young adult leaders being involved in young people's lives, do you think that will impact or see a decrease in the violence?
Oh, 100%. I think particularly younger people, like I was able to reach, because I was at that time 20, and I was able to reach people, and I wasn't that much older than them. They were like 15 and 16. So it's not like I'm talking to 12-year-old, 10-year-olds. I was literally talking to people who almost was in high school with me, So, but they trusted us because so the funny story, me and my friend who started, when we see them, we always joke with them because they're old guys now like us. And then we'll say the first few weeks we would go pick them up. We'd be out there sitting in the van in Brightwood on like 28th and Adams or something, just waiting. And man, they ain't gonna come and look up, and they might stroll through, coming in. By the third week, we get there, it's like 10 of them out there waiting on us. We like, man, this is what's up. They didn't realize that we were here for the long term. We weren't here for no quick in and out type of thing. And to this day, they'll say, man, nobody could have reached us the way y'all did. They will tell us that, and they always give us a lot of props. They'll say, we weren't going to listen to people because people would come in their community and try to talk to them. But when I was like, I think 13, I lived over there, so I knew the community pretty well. But I moved away, and of course I went to college and I came home. So we would do it every summer, and it was a good situation for them and for us too. Mm-hmm. We just felt that it was important, and the mentorship relationship, I think, it goes without question. I've instilled that even in my own kids. My daughter, she just sent me pictures today of her and her. She's a big sister. I'm big brother, big sister. She just sent me a picture of them going to a college football game. So I was like, wow, she gets it, and of course they didn't have the life I had, so, but it's just beautiful to see that they understand how important it is to give back and be a mentor, and big brother, big sister, there's obligations and requirements, and so she signs up for it, and she's really serious about it and being intentional with her little sister.
Right.
Definitely. And I think what inspires me about you is that a lot of those in politics, their upcoming is from a lot of money, from the presidents and not even the presidents, just the counselors. They come from a lot of money, and you not being from coming up from money, not using your background, but using what you came through to the best of your ability. You didn't have much, but you used what you had, and that's real. That alone really inspires you, and definitely commending you on that.
Yeah, appreciate that. And I just felt so blessed that people spend time. I call these people probably every 2 or 3 years. Somebody very impactful will come into my life, and it's almost like a tree, man. A person come in your life, go that way, and they just help me sprout up. I call them angels because without them, who knows where I would be? Even the tough ones, my uncle, he was big, tall, strong guy. He was like, he worked at juvenile center. He was like, man, if I ever see you here, I'm going to whoop you. I was like, I don't want that dude. I ain't want that smoke. So when my friends would be doing wilding out, I literally would go the other way. I wouldn't get in the car with him. I would just do whatever I had to do. And he's like an angel because, I never really got in trouble. So I'm really happy that I was scared because of him. Because if I was thinking like a regular teenager, I would have been like, we might get away with it, whatever they were doing. And no disrespect to them, but I'm just saying, I just had somebody that was an angel in my life, and he guided me, and just like so many other angels. And so it wasn't like I just made all the right moves, man, and just did all the right things, man. God he was just so good and blessing me, and he wanted me to, give back. I couldn't have the walk that I had and not give back, because I feel especially blessed. So yeah, thank you for saying that, though.
Of course.
They say opposites attract. That's why the Sleep Number Smart Bed is the best bed for couples. You can each choose what's right for you, whenever you like. You like a bed that feels firm, but they want soft? Sleep Number does that. You want to sleep cooler, while they like to feel warm. Sleep Number does that too. Sleep Number Smart Beds also learn how you sleep and provide you with personalized insights to help you sleep even better. You have to feel it to believe it. Find the bed that's for both of you, only at a Sleep Number store. 9 out of 10 couples say they sleep better on a Sleep Number Smart Bed. Time to catch some Z's. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now during Sleep Number's biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed, plus special financing for a limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com. See store for details.
I feel like it's also so inspiring as young Black people to see a Black man able to achieve what you have achieved.
Yeah, I feel like, again, doing the things of my walk. So I was, when I went to college, I was kind of rough around the edges, and so I was kind of stumbling through. But then I saw his organization, a fraternity, and I was like, yo, they cool, they smart, and some of them, were still like regular guys. Like they weren't all studious and, all serious. So I knew I couldn't really be that because I was Indianapolis. I was too, Brightwood. I couldn't be that. So you know what I'm saying? So I saw those guys. But then when you get in, so I ended up pledging that fraternity, and man, it's like another great thing that I was able to do that helped me kind of sharpen up myself and make me more polished. Because I would definitely say it helped me out being around other brothers with similar stories and some with other stories who had, different types of backgrounds that were a little more, easier, I would say maybe. But, those experiences and so many things like that, also was in the Army Reserves. So I spent like 13 years in the military. So that helped me as well. So that helped me be more disciplined about things. And to this day, I'm still drawing from both of those types of experiences. So, it's just a lot that I've been able to experience that has helped me stay in the game, stay focused, stay disciplined, hold my head up, go through it and really strive to achieve higher. I when I was younger, I didn't know that the game in life was really to achieve. I thought it was just like whatever comes to me. I thought like whatever job comes to me, if I graduate from high school, whatever. But then, like I said, I would look at my cousin's friends when they would come over to my cousin's house for birthday parties, and I was like, man, they all right. So I said, I got to do it. So I began striving for more. I just wanted more. I just didn't want the life that it was just going to come to me. I wanted to go and get it, whatever that would be. And again, I knew I wouldn't do anything that would be illegal. I was just going to study, So again, I became a stockbroker. Next month, it'll be 26 years. And even that journey was a challenge because you got to study, you got to pass all these tests. And, it was hard, but I stuck with it and just stay focused. And some people come in the industry and they don't succeed and then they leave. And I'm just happy that 25 years later, I'm still here, and it's things like that I just want more. I just want better. And I just pray that people see that it's so much amazing life out here to live and to go get. Like I would definitely not attend parties where I know it might be some crazy stuff. I wouldn't hang with people who I know might be, because my guys were really wild and out when we were young. Like I said, I would know, don't even get in the car with them because you already know something's up under the seat, whatever. So, just focusing on what I really saw later on down the line.
So you kind of said, your mindset being younger is having that exposure to your cousins and your uncles and wanting more. And you kind of carried that same mindset into what you want for the East Side and what you want for your districts. You want more. So could you kind of speak to one thing that you see that you are proud of in the East Side and then one thing that you see the East Side could definitely improve on? Mm-hmm.
Great segue, by the way. But, I'm just so proud of the people on the East Side. I mean, from the youngest people to the oldest people in our community. Just yesterday, we had a big announcement or a big meeting, and there's a lady who comes to our neighborhood association meetings, and she'll have history books about the East Side, Arlington, and all that stuff from 1980 and 60 and 70 and all that stuff. So, these people care about our community. They're so passionate about the East Side.
Invested.
Absolutely. So they're invested in the East Side, and they've seen. I don't know if you guys know about like Devington Plaza. It had Kroger. It had bakeries. It had little stores and furniture stores and all that, and it's gone. And they're like. They saw it, they lived it. So, when I see how strong they are, it gives me strength to want to just get out and work hard for them and come back. And I literally will tell them that all the time. When they say, well, congratulations, I'll say, look, I got you to answer to. I want to make you proud and make you happy. But what's strong on the East Side is the people. The challenges. We have a reputation, and I don't know how that happened. Somewhere along the lines, the East Side got the bad rap for the whole city. Like this, like I live on the East Side. What, you live on the East Side? Oh my God, Post Road. Come on now, that's my district. So I'm like, chill,
not too much.
You know what I'm saying? Because I am proud to say that since being on the council 20, 21, 22, every year we've seen a decline in crime. That's violent crime and property crime in my district in substantial numbers. So it's from that period of time is 700 fewer incidences of property and violent crime in our district, which means 700 fewer people and families experience violent and property crime. So that's a substantial number. And that's the East Side. So, but it's still challenging. Right. It's still a challenge. It's still a reputation I'm not proud of. And I think what we're doing now, we've really excited the faith-based community. Our churches are really kicking in. Eastern Star has been kicking in for years now. Oh, yeah. Now we got people like New Direction. They're starting to reveal what they've been doing on the east side. We've got so many neighborhood associations that are coming through and creating new housing and new veterans housing and just revitalizing the whole community. We've got transportation is going to be help connect the east side to downtown. That's the Purple Line. That's also going to beautify our streets and roads on 38th Street. So we got almost $200 million in that alone. Mm-hmm. And just in a few short years, we've done a lot. And I think if you come back on the east side, particularly 38th, you're gonna be surprised at what you see with our new banks and our new healthcare centers and grocery stores. Just what you would paint if you were a three-year-old or a seasoned architect, and they say paint a community, is gonna have the things that we have now that we didn't have it 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm happy to be here at this time, whether it was already baking or I made it happen. I'm just happy that this is the moment, this is the time, and the people trusted me with their community's future, and my neighbors and all those in the east side of Indy. So I'm happy to be doing what they asked me to do just 4 years ago.
And how can residents be more informed on those changes? Like, are there meetings that the council is holding that are open to the public? How can we be more informed and engaged and involved?
Yeah, so another good question. I really encourage people to seek to get involved. Yeah. That makes a big community. Like you say, the east side is so big. Where does it start? Where does it end? It's big, but it becomes smaller and becomes more intimate, more familiar with people when they get involved. Mm-hmm. So almost every community has a neighborhood association. In my community, there's Devington, there's Shane, there's Audubon Gardens, there's Arlington Woods, there's Devon. There's so many across the east side of Indy that you can just go to their meetings. And so now on your 2 or 3 block radius what's happening. But because you don't go to meetings, you can't really voice what's happening. So because we don't go up and down every single street every day. So we don't know that there's speeding, there's needs to be a stop sign, or there's high traffic that might need to have increased police oversight or whatever in a certain place. So coming to those neighborhood association meetings, and it's you can find them on the city's website. If you live somewhere around the city of Indianapolis, you can go to indy.gov and in the search box put neighborhood associations. If you can't find it, they can just reach out to the Indianapolis City County Council and our office in the city county building. Just call them and say, this is where I live, what's the nearest neighborhood association? And then you can go to that neighborhood association, get involved, and now you got a bigger voice because you got your neighbors that are somewhere in your community that also know what's happening. Sometimes businesses will have loud noises and you really are tired of hearing it, but you thought you were the only one. You go to these meetings and now you band together and you say, hey, councilman, can you please get these businesses to abide by our noise ordinances? So things like that. You also have the mayor's representatives will be there. You'll have IMPD, our police department, their representatives will be there. So it's really a collection of people who care about the community coming together. So I would encourage everybody to know where their nearest neighborhood association meets, and at least a few times a year, if not every month, which they have them every month, at least a few times a year, go make yourself known. Because when you go into some of these communities that look all nice and shiny, believe me, they go to their neighborhood association meetings and they voice their opinion. That's one of the big differences. I think we kind of accept it in a Black community, and we kind of normalize certain things, that happen, certain things that happen in our community. If it happened one time in certain other communities, this is going to be an uproar. But if it happens in our community once a week, it's kind of like no big deal.
Yeah. Definitely. That's a call to action, man.
Absolutely, man.
Get in your community.
Absolutely.
ASAP.
Yeah. Organize.
Yeah.
Pay attention to what's going on.
Start now, not later. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
important, especially as youth, to start paying attention to what happens in your community so you can be educated as you get older, not educating yourself when you are older.
Right.
Thank you.
Because this is the community that we're going to inherit. You know, we have to take the conditions of our community. Like, we're going to live here.
Exactly.
Like,
We ain't going nowhere.
we ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Like, I'm personally, as a Far East Side resident, I am invested and dedicated to my community. I don't plan on moving to Dallas or Chicago or some other big city. Like, I want to live here for the rest of my life. And if I'm going to live here, I want it to look, how I imagine it.
Absolutely.
So taking control of our conditions, taking control of our lives, like, that's probably the best thing that we can do at this age, starting now.
Facts.
Definitely.
Yeah. I even get a little upset at people when they say they just moved to the nearby county. I'll be like, you live in Hamilton County, why don't you just stay in Indy? You live in Hendricks or Hancock, stay in Indy. Because there's great communities in our area. You can make the community better that you live in if you care. You don't have to move, you can just come here and just roll your sleeves up and make it better. And I think with myself and some of those leaders like Ashley Gervis on the East Side, I think she's going to be on the podcast as well soon. People like us, we recognize it's our time and we got to do our part. And I think we've seen some of the results that if you do get out here and bring skill to the community, you're gonna see some change in a few short years.
Stay and fight.
For sure.
Stay and fight.
Let's get it.
Don't be a quitter.
Don't be moving in Dallas. I'm talking to my auntie.
And there's power in numbers too. So
Yes.
we got to come
Power
together.
in numbers.
Yeah, you can't just do it, be on your block complaining.
Yeah.
You got to come to the meetings. You got to share it. And believe me, somebody else is probably thinking the same thing you are.
Right.
And you might not want to bring it up because you don't want to go knock on random people's doors and saying, hey, y'all need to cut y'all grass or y'all need to stop all this loud music. You come to the meeting and everybody's like, yeah, I've been wanting to complain about it too, because it brings the comfort of the community down.
Right.
And you don't want no problem. So you don't want to be knocking on people's doors, but come to the meetings.
Come to the meetings. You don't do nothing else. Come to the meeting.
Two things. Want something and come to the meetings.
Right.
This podcast is brought to you by eHarmony, the dating app to find someone you can be yourself with. Why doesn't eHarmony allow copy and paste in first messages? Because you are unique, and your conversations should reflect that. eHarmony wants you to find someone who will get you. How are you going to know who gets you if people send you the same generic conversation starters they message everyone else? Conversations that actually help you get to know each other. Imagine that. Get who gets you on eHarmony. Sign up today.
That's we talked to Samantha Douglas last week with Cafe Indy, and that's one of the things she said. Like, everybody thinks that they have to be super informed on how the systems work and super aware, and they have to know everything, and they come to the meetings with the facts, like the one lady with the book. Like, people think that that's what they have to do in order to get involved, but really all you have to do, and this is what she told us, is know what you want. All you have to do, the first and only thing you have to, first thing you have to do is know what you want, know the vision you want for your people and your community, and that's the best start, because
For sure.
Yeah.
No, shout out to Samantha, Far East Community Council president. So that's real deal facts right there. I can say almost everything I've ever done, I really wasn't prepared or knew what I was doing. I kind of get in the job and I learned it on the way. But I also say almost everything I did, I came in on the ground floor and I went to the top, because I get in and I figure what needs to be done out, and I be courageous. I'm courageous. I take the guy whose name I mentioned, Reverend Dr. Andrew J. Brown, I take that mindset, because he marched with Martin Luther King, and they brought some of that mindset to Indianapolis. And so they're the architects of what we see here in Indy. And I take their mindset on some of our older politicians who are no longer with us, like William Crawford and Glenn Howard and even Julia Carson. I know the strength that it took. It's unfortunately, it was like in the 70s and 80s, but it took the same strength from them that it took for somebody in the 1800s and 1700s like Harriet Tubman. I mean, it takes strength to just move forward. And so when I'm in these rooms, I'm thinking like them. I'm like, I'm going to be courageous. I'm not going to be quiet. I ask tough questions because I want to see things change. So yeah. You gotta have that courage. But really, you don't have to be master. Like I tell people that, like, let me get this done. Let me graduate. Let me do this. Most of what I've done in my life, I definitely wasn't prepared for it, but I just go for it. And I know what I want. I think that's what you said, Samantha said. And I just go in and we're going to make this thing happen. And then I figure it out.
One last question for me, then I'm done. Who are some local legends that you look up to when you need like the pick me up or when you need the strength? Who do you draw on to? Who are some of the local legends? You evoked Julia Carson,
absolutely.
Reverend Andrew J. Brown. Who else?
Yeah, those are it. I mean, I feel like I sat at the feet of giants just by being in the same room with them for years. Like, that's who baptized me, Reverend Dr. Andrew J. Brown. So, I mean, I feel like I sat at the feet of people that were important. I've been in many conversations with Glenn Howard, with Bill Crawford. These people, they were not gentle in their requests. They weren't like saying pretty please in their requests. They were demanding change. They were demanding improvement, demanding better. And that's how I feel that I take a lot of that in there now. I think I use a little modern day negotiation skills that I think I tap into as a stockbroker. But I think I definitely need some of that sometimes because, like I said, I've not been the master of certain things. Like, how do you bring a bank to a community? I've never done that before, but that didn't stop me from reaching out to these bank executives from Horizon Bank just 3 years ago. And it materialized into yesterday. We just had one of the first or second community meetings, which they announced the renderings of how it's going to look in our community. But that just that was because I went to a community event. It was like a holiday event, and I was with my daughter, and I was like, we're going to work this room. She thought we were going to come and get some free food. I was like, we're about to work this room because I knew it was a lot of execs there. And I just courageously walked up to people, and when I learned who they are, what they do, my immediate thoughts were, what can they do for my community? And I was courageous in asking them that. So I take those names that I just mentioned, and so many more that I can't mention. I can't think of right now, but so many people that I know have blessed me. So I have to be strong and give back. So many mentors, community center leaders, coaches, my uncle who I reference, just so many people that have been a blessing and a part of my journey that helped me be the person that I am today.
Definitely. I love that. That still goes back to getting connected. Find somebody, find your mentor. For sure. It could literally be anybody, your pastor, especially in the Black community.
Just make those connections and you could do relatively anything.
Yeah. But this is also something we talk about a lot, like the lack of sense of community that a lot of young people feel. Like, a lot of us don't go to church no more. A lot of us don't know about the community center down the street. We're like, this is just an old building. We don't even know the historical importance of it, or the old church. We don't even know. So I think it also takes like just going outside, getting off social media and going outside. Yeah.
So you think that social media has replaced going to the community center?
Yeah.
It is a community center, but not the right one.
Community center without walls,
yeah.
Where everything goes.
Right.
Yeah. And I feel like that's one bad thing that has come from our generation is we're so reliant, I feel like, on technology and social media. Like, what if we just lose all of that technology? What would we realistically do?
Be a bunch of robots.
Zombies.
Walking around with no real guidance.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it really has its positives, but from the beginning, I was thinking about like social media and how, and I'm really still not sold that the people who run it, like the Zuckerbergs of the world, they're not just like the guy in those movies, like it's in the hands of the bad guy versus the good guy on the other side. So I don't know, because man, it's so crazy how it can guide us from a psychological perspective, from the likes and clicks and desire to see all that, to just being a playground for beefs that really result in real life situations.
Right.
So I think you know, there's good in it, but there's definitely some bad in it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel like that's a wrap.
It's a wrap, man. I can't thank you guys enough for letting little old me, Keith Graves, City County Council District 9 on the east side of Indy, come here and talk to your listeners, talk to y'all, share my story. You know, like I said, I don't typically do too much of it, but I really appreciate this opportunity.
The pleasure is ours.
Thank you. Yes, pleasure definitely ours.
How can we connect with you and find you?
Yeah.
Or how can the viewers connect with you and find you?
Where can we pull up on you? No.
If they need something in their community, your district.
Yeah.
This case and potholes ain't fixed like you said.
Look, I'm from here, man. You ain't got to look hard. But no, I ran on being available to lend my name, my voice, my influence to any situation for my members of my constituency in District 9. But you can find me all social media platforms, and my website is www.electkeithgraves.com. City Council office, as I mentioned, you want to look it up, Indianapolis City County Council. But my telephone number, which I have no problems giving out, 317-560-4554. And I am always available. I attend a lot of events for our community. It's something that I think me in this role, I should be, grand openings and other things of that nature. So, yeah.
Words you used earlier was accessible. I think that's what we need. We need more accessible politicians. Cause
I'm not Chris Brown and I'm hiding in my expensive hotel. I come out and shake hands. I come out and be with the people. You know, because I'm actually from the community. I grew up in the neighborhood I serve. So I mean, it's like I know people. I don't go up and down every street, but I might have been on every street because, you know, I've been in that East Side community my entire life.
Yes, sir.
East Side.
I'm personally from the West Side, but,
Sorry to hear that.
but all love to the East Side.
For sure. We certainly appreciate that because East Side, by the East Side, you know, it's coming up. Y'all better get in now.
And one thing I think is so unfair, you said this earlier, that everybody puts all the negative connotations with Indy on the East Side. And I live on the West Side, and there's so much crazy stuff that happens over there. There's so many shootings, murders on the West Side, and I feel like it's not really talked about as much as the stuff that happens on the East Side.
For sure.
So.
Yeah. I don't know why they've done that. I mean, it might be something that's just outside of downtown, and they'll be like, East Side.
Like, near East Side.
We just take the blame for everything.
That was post round.
Yeah.
That was Shayla.
Yeah. But no, we changing that. We changing that. Yeah, thanks to people like Samantha Douglas, Ashley Gervitz, Kendra Noah Cafe, those people, talking about people who inspire me, you know, those people, they do. Family, you know, those people.
Well, thank you again,
thank you so
Councilor.
much.
Congratulations again on the dub.
Yes,
sir.
Now the work starts.
Right. Big dub, never the little one.
Yes, sir.
For sure. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right, listeners, it's been real. You know, stay true, stay to yourself. Peace out.
Peace out from Real Talk.
This is Real Talk. No strings attached. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast. And be sure to check out other great podcasts on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Online now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.